Hi guys, today we're gonna go over Manchester City against Arsenal for the Premier League. So Manchester City was gonna have a lineup of 4-1-4-1. That's how we saw it. As you can see right there. Arsenal was gonna play. I thought it was a 4-3-3 at times, with Martinelli being on the left, but he was also covering a lot, so he was also like a 4-4-2, and you're gonna see that throughout the game. Um, Trossard and Havertz. Trossard was a lot on the left, but Havertz, he had a lot of freedom. He was behind Trossard a lot, so that could change during the game. I think Partey was more on the. They were changing a lot too, so. But I think at the beginning, the first half at least, Partey was on the left and right on the right. Yeah, so in the first minutes of the game, you can see that Partey was gonna be another midfielder, or even attacking. So Manchester City was gonna have something like this. Partey here between Gundogan and Doku. And Silva, as always, Bernardo Silva, he had a lot of freedom. Right there, you can see it on this other picture. Now Bernardo Silva is like all the way over here. He usually has a lot of freedom when Manchester City wants to create something, and Guardiola, like I said, bit here with the midfielders. Um, then the first goal happened on the 7th minute because Walker passed it to Sabinho. Sabinho, he is a great first touch, and then he passed it to Haaland, and he's all by himself. But look at what Bernardo did. He created a lot of space just by going to the right. So it was a good goal for Manchester City. As opposed to the last game that they had, Manchester City, they were attacking a lot, but Arsenal, they also wanted to propose, but Manchester City couldn't allow them. So you can see that Arsenal was trying to go higher on the pitch, but they couldn't. And here you can see that they were trying. Manchester City makes the pitch super wide, like this. So when you have something like this, it's really hard to get out of your box. So that's why, and like I said before, Havertz came here, but that's why Arsenal, they couldn't have the ball in the first 20 minutes or 25. Then Rodri unfortunately got injured, so Kovacic came in. Let's just put it like this because this was still this information. But right after this happened, the first Arsenal goal. So here, Partey passed it to Martinelli. Martinelli is all by himself, and Walker, he was a little late because he was talking to the referee. But then Cagliafieri comes from the back, and he scores a nice goal. I know people were complaining that Walker was talking to the referee and stuff, but you cannot take credit away from Calafiori's goal. Like the way he just scores that, it's supreme. And here, like I said, Manchester. Here you guys can see the 4-4-2, but also here you can see how Manchester City is pressing super high. So Arsenal, they couldn't get the ball, and again Silva now he's just in the middle of the pitch, just trying to create something. But after the 35 minutes or so, Arsenal, they did go higher on the pitch, and here you can see their defense, and Martinelli and Saka, they were making the pitch wide for Arsenal now. But this meant that Arsenal, they wanted to get something, free kicks, corner kicks, something, any foul, and they actually achieved that because they had two chances on corner kicks. The first one they didn't score, but on the second one, it's Walker against Gabriel, and you can see that Manchester City, they're gonna cover by zone, and Arsenal, they're just on the second post, and Manchester City is in the first post. Everyone knew that it's gonna be on the second post because all the defense are in the first one, and Gabriel's in the back. So I don't know why Manchester City didn't get that. Something that I'd like to mention is that I'm a little doubtful about what Martinelli and Savila are doing to Ederson there because there's a little push, and I don't know. That's what Manchester City were complaining about. But anyway, that was the 2-1. But just before the first half ends, here Silva gets a foul, and that is a right foul. But then Trossard, as you can see, Trossard, he kicks the ball away, and he gets a yellow card, the second yellow, and he gets a red card. I don't know why Arsenal keeps doing that, but they always stop the play, and that's how they get a lot of yellows. Anyway, so then the second half happened, and obviously since Trossard got a red card, he got out, and Saka was sacrificed, and Ben White came in. But he was gonna be here between Timber and Saliba. So now Arsenal, they were gonna have like a 5-4, like this. Yeah, but now I felt like Party was more like here. For a couple minutes, just like this. Party and Rice switched Martinelli and Havertz. So it was like a 5-4, and they were defending super well. But also, Pep knew that was gonna happen, so he decided to push Akanji a little higher on the pitch. So whenever they were attacking now, Akanji was gonna go higher, which meant that Diaz and because Vardiol was also gonna attack, so Diaz and Walker were gonna stay here, and Kovacic was also gonna be trying to defend if needed. And now that meant that Martinelli and Walker, they were gonna have a lot of duels, but Walker won all the duels. Martinelli, he couldn't attack as much. And then here you can see that whenever they were defending, they would also be like a 6-3, like that, because Martinelli had a lot of things to do during the match, defensive and attacking. So that's what you consider right there. Then I like to show this picture because Arteta he sent a message to Raya to say like, hey, just fake a foul, and Raya just he was on the floor, but now because he wanted to give tactics to his team, and whenever the goalkeeper is down, you have to stop the game. So that's why he had to be the goalkeeper. So that's why I like to show that. Then Foden came in for Doku, but Foden was gonna play more like, let me put the back like it was here in the middle. I guess he likes to play there. Savinho was gonna go to the left, and Bernardo was gonna play on the right. So it was gonna be like this, still a 4-1-4-1, but it was gonna be like this now. Then Keyword came in for Calafiori because Calafiori he had injured, but he was gonna play in the exact same place. So then Grealish came in for Savinho. Savinho, he did really good today. And Stones came in for Walker. I didn't like this substitution at first, but Pep does his magic there. And Akanji was gonna come to the left, to the right. Diaz in the middle and Bardiol here, which Bardiol was gonna go higher, and Kovacic covered this if needed. But the Stone was gonna play behind Haaland because Haaland he was against these three players. He was against White, Saliba, and Gabriel, and support. He didn't touch the ball much. Anyway, so now Foden was gonna be like this, more with Grealish, Gundogan more to the right with Bernardo, and the Stones behind Haaland like this. So now it was so hard for Manchester City to get in because look, everyone is being covered. Like Arsenal is 1v1 in all situations. The only one that from time to time was alone was Diaz or Akanji or Kovacic, but neither of these guys could shoot well, so it was like pointless for them. So Manchester City was getting frustrated. Then Gabriel Jesus came in for Martinelli, and he was defending well, Gabriel Jesus, when he came in. Then Luis Skelly came in for Timber because Timber got injured, but then that meant that all the defense was going to move to the right one spot because this guy, he's a lefty. So, and also in this minute, Pep told Foden to get out of the box and try to shoot, but that meant that Rice was going to be taking care of Foden. And you can see that Foden and Kovacic switch positions now. But in the last minute of the game, the second goal for Manchester City happened, and Grealish, it comes from a corner kick. Grealish passes it to Gundogan. Gundogan gives it back, but look, Kovacic is already is alone, and there you can see Stones that is also ready, and Stones just tips it in and he scores the 2-2. But it was in the very last minute. Anyway, please let me know what you think. I know it was a controversial game, and I really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching.